Okay, welcome back. We're going to do a little shakedown ride with the Jemco exhaust on the Qt50. The first thing that you might notice is low end is much improved over not only the MLM People's Pipe, but the MLM Circuit Pipe, at least in my opinion. Acceleration seems to be better from a start, and things start to kick in a little sooner, maybe at 15 miles an hour rather than at 20 plus miles an hour. And despite reports to the contrary, the Jemco exhaust does not seem to be that loud. But these are just my initial impressions. So we're just heading out, just kind of taking it easy through the neighborhood here. And my headset, I guess that's what I'll call it, where the handlebars go into the forks, that was loose, and so I was a little worried about that, especially if, you know, we're going to give it hell here in a minute. So I actually found a, I guess it's called a lock ring spanner tool. Yamaha, I think, recommends their special tool in the manual, but this is a bicycle headset tool. Found that on eBay that I think will fit. I've got one, but it's just too big and it won't turn those lock rings. So I need to tighten that up. I may even need to put in new bearings, just redo the bearings altogether in the headset and the forks. So you might notice it when, especially if I brake hard, there's a bit of wobble and play in the steering wheel. And the second thing, I don't think you'll notice it here, but a little later, is mid-range is greatly improved as well. We get stopped by the red light, but you'll notice it here in a minute as soon as we get past the red light that mid-range acceleration, how should I put it? We actually have noticeable acceleration. Normally, acceleration on all these bikes is a slow, gradual process. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be ripping off any wheelies or anything like that with it, but you get on it and there is a noticeable, very noticeable acceleration. This isn't motorcycle torquey or anything like that, but compared to what it was, it's a big difference. So let's pay attention and see. That car is actually closer than it appears, and I have to slow down to kind of let it give me a little bit of room to do anything here. We've got a police friend there on the left. 45 mile an hour speed limit, and I decided to back off. I was doing about 46, and I also noticed that my temperature was running a bit higher than I was comfortable with. I forget what it was there, but on a hunch, I went ahead and put in a bigger main jet, and I might even need a bigger main jet than that. This is running a 200 jet, and I might go to a 210. And then the other issue was my exhaust bolts were actually loosening up, and you'll see later I have to bail out because things get really hot, and I think the exhaust bolts loosened up even further, or maybe I didn't tighten them as tight as I thought I did. I don't know. So another thing I need to do is get probably some new exhaust bolts and add a little thread locker to them. And I've also got actually a new exhaust gasket on the way, which will probably do a better job sealing things up. When I initially got the pipe, I wasn't quite sure. I was kind of thinking that the header would actually fit into inside the cylinder like it does on the Honda Express or the Honda Urban Express, and I could make that happen. And then I was reading the little information that was out there, and it seemed like people were just clamping it flat against the exhaust, the outside of the exhaust port on the cylinder. So that's what I ended up doing. The header on this thing is huge. It's 31 millimeters in diameter, outside diameter, and I think this exhaust port, well, the exhaust port on a stock Qt50 at the outer part of the cylinder is a 19 millimeter diameter on a stock cylinder, and then this is the Molosi cylinder. I didn't measure it, but it's probably right around 25 millimeters. So John from Jemco got back to me and said it would perform even better if I opened up the exhaust port. So what I might do is transition the exhaust port to where it opens up at 31 millimeters where the header connects, and then taper it in from there. So, but I'll have to take the cylinder off and just look at it. I haven't really done that yet. So anyhow, we're just kind of taking it easy through the neighborhood. I'm debating whether to pass that cop again, just because I'm not feeling lucky, but I really don't have any other way to go back that doesn't involve a lot of traffic. So we're working our way back there, and we're just going to go for it. So my initial impressions of the pipe, it is an expensive pipe compared to what else is out there. I wasn't able to put it through a full blast where we see exactly how fast it can go, but low and mid-range are definitely way better than any Peoples pipe I've tried, and I've tried the circuit or the MLM pipe I've tried. I've tried the circuit pipe and the Peoples pipe, and low and mid-range are just out of this world better than those pipes. We'll see if it's an improvement on all three, low, medium, and top end, or low, mid, and top end. But I've got to correct a few things: the jetting, the exhaust bolts, and the headset, and might be forgetting something else. But anyhow, if you're going to be going 50 miles an hour plus, little things like a loose headset kind of get you kind of worried. So, and high temperatures also get you worried. So anyways, here we go. We're going to give it another run until things don't look so good, but let's see what she's got. Kind of taking it easy till I get past this cop. Now, I know, all of a sudden my temperatures shoot up to 465 degrees and I bail out of this run. So I think that was mainly because my exhaust bolts came a little loose and some air was getting in that shouldn't, especially at higher RPMs. So I decided to let it cool off, but we'll spare you that. And then, you know, I think it even wants a bigger jet, a 210 main jet on this TM24 car. So we've got a few things to do, but so far so good. Those of you who are concerned about the expense, you know, obviously the main reason I got it was I had to have it. This is, you know, kind of the legendary Qt50 pipe, designed specifically for the Qt50. Not only in terms of, you know, how it fits the bike, but how it performs with the engine. Actually, let's wait here. I give it another blast, and maybe you can get an idea of the mid-range torque. It's not as noticeable as it is on the bike when you're actually riding it, but there's a bit of torque there. And so anyhow, number two, you know, one of the things I do is try to, you know, get information out there on the Qt50. And I found out that you can still get these. A lot of people don't know that. This pipe anyways. And I'm going to try in several videos to give you an idea of its performance so that you can decide for yourself whether or not you would like to purchase it or get it for your bike. And so you've got a bit more information than I had, and all I had was there's like a few videos out there that are 20 seconds long each and a little bit written on it. So now, you know, I've put out at least what are we looking at now, 20-25 minutes of video, and you can get a better idea if this is something you want. I ended up just using a bracket, an exhaust bracket, and wrapping that around the exhaust, and then using another bracket and just attaching it up to the Qt50 with bolts. And I may go, you know, weld something on later, but this actually works really good now, and you might have seen a close-up of that in my other video. So anyhow, hope you enjoyed riding with me, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.